And ladies and gents, here we are. And this, at least from most people's perspectives, is the group of death. Group C. Big names. The games have been very close, except for anyone who's run into ACCM so far. We've got Vinchester playing as the Byzantines on Cross. He's got 3 wins coming into this third round. And we've got TaToH with 3 wins as well, Dave. So, I mean, honestly, before TTL, I would have said Vinch and TaToH are both top 10 for me. So this is a big one, as they both want playoffs and beyond.
Yeah, and both players are kind of in a corner, so they have their own little private pond, which is nice, although there's a lot of work to be done to wall that off. And with Byzantines and Persians, always got to be careful about those forward docks, man. The docks are so tough to take out, especially for Persians, but as well as Byzantines. If you get one on there, it's going to be a pain, for sure.
We've had this weird trend as TaToH did not kill it. I freaked out and thought he did.
He's just taking the pig first, the other pig, the smaller pig.
So we are going to have shoals in this series again. There's been a lot of shoals games the last couple sets. But I'm finding the groups have this one map that continues to be played. So this group has had Cross almost every series, like maybe 70% of them. So both of these two guys played Cross in their early rounds. And then Yo's group had Evacuation almost every group. So what is that? I think Group A. And then the group we just saw has had shoals like every single series. I don't know. I'd have to do my research on some of the other groups, but it's just weird how Cross has been played so much in this group. I don't know why.
There's Titans League meta, and then there's group meta as well.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing too, in some cases, people keep allowing maps through when they're not doing very well on them. Like Yo is 0-3 in Evacuation. I wonder come round 4 if he's going to let that go through the draft.
You know, Yo, like Evacuation is a map that should theoretically go towards his strengths, right? It's a kind of crazy map. You can attack from multiple angles. He's probably a little bit stubborn with it now.
Yeah,
he's
maybe.
Like, I'm gonna win on this map. And the way that Yo plays, like if he loses on a map consistently, like Arena back in the day, he would always lose with it. He'll just keep playing it over and over and over again, and eventually he'll be a god.
Yeah,
like he'll be really good at it.
That's kind of what you expect. You expect him to eventually catch up, but that's the thing. It's like you kind of need the wins pretty early. Like Yo is in a group with Leary and Sebastian. Sebastian's 6-0 right now. We'll see what Leary could do. So
it's also Yo though. He's the slowest starter, dude.
Yeah.
He always is.
Yep, he is. And TaToH moves forward now. TaToH's so good on these types of maps. I'd say that TaToH definitely tends to play a bit more aggressively compared to Vinch. Vinch also has a more defensive civ here. So this is going to be the civ where you probably opt for walls. And if the Byzantines survive, the Byzantines can beat anyone, but Persians are one of the best at the early pressure here. So
I don't love Vinch's map either. Look at the forward gold with a hill in front of it. The stone is on a hill, right? Like the other 2 golds are over to the side, but it's a lot of area to lock down. Your berries are also forward, and it's tough to wall off the stock. It's a really good generation for TaToH to pressure Vinchester early.
Think about TaToH's map. Obviously, if this is a different map and it like Arabia, we might see walling between these forward wood lines. You just can't invest into that many walls. And so all of his golds are pretty exposed on the sides of his base. So when you're investing into the pawns, really hard to also invest into walls. And as I say it, Vinch is going to wall up a little bit. Classic Byzantines, right? You want to stay as safe as possible. And I also think it's rare that Byzantines would be fearful of a forward build, but against the Persian docks, you actually have to respect it a little bit.
Yeah, and it's big walls coming up from Vinch. There is still... Does he see that? Oh, there's a little bamboo blocking it off. I thought there was a hole to the left, but Vinchester's going to be fine there.
Yep, I see it. Yeah, those bamboos are the worst if they're on the other side of a bigger tree. Kind of like the other side of that wood line there. There's bamboo. If that bamboo was a tile back, you might think there's a hole, but thankfully Vinchester wasn't bamboozled.
Dude, this like wall off for Vinchester is so brutal. There's nothing near the TC. There's absolutely nothing near the TC.
I mean, it keeps your fish safe, I guess. I wonder if this means that he will try and fish trap later on instead of trying to build docks on the other pawns.
Maybe.
Like if he was Malay,
pawns.
if he was Malay, I would assume that. But yeah, giving up pawns when you're normally wanting to contest with Byzantines is just not very
Speaking of
common.
pawns, TaToH going over to the left side, and he's going to... I've seen this a lot, and I think this is really nice. Instead of making the dock where your opponent expects you to make the dock,
Yep.
you're going to make it towards their base. So if they send a Vil, they send it into that, and sometimes like they'll dock the other side of the pond, and they won't see yours as they're passing by. So this is really good.
It just gives you such critical vision. Look at this from TaToH too. Dropping palisades to block a potential sneak dock there, and then scouting the other side. I don't know if he'll palisade the whole thing, but this is something that I think Dark and Mihai showed me first. I remember a cross game. I think Dark or Mihai was Huns, and they palisaded the whole freaking shoreline. But if the thing is, you miss one spot, then you're screwed, and the whole thing's a waste. So
TaToH's even going for a galley. I don't know if he misclicked that or what, but he's going for a galley in his starting pawn rather than the one over on the left side.
Well, I mean, if you look,
he might have misclicked this.
If you look at Vinchester's walls and then compare it to TaToH's situation, where TaToH has to be paranoid, TaToH's scout has to stay home. TaToH's like almost expecting there to be a sneak, so he adds a galley. I kind of like Vinchester's setup. I mean, the walls are unorthodox, but you just don't have any concern that the opponent can ever get there now, and I think that's valuable.
Barracks is fairly late here for TaToH, but he's making it, and Vinchester just coming forward to see that. He doesn't see the timing on that barracks.
Yeah,
so that barracks went up right before he saw it with the scout. For all he knows, there could be a stable or an archer range somewhere around, so he's going to have to do a little bit more scouting here. To confirm.
This is wild how much they respect each other. There's so much respect here. Like, they don't think they're going to get any real damage in. And TaToH's now going for full walls on the right. TaToH's scouting also wasn't fantastic this game. Like, he's just now getting here, just now seeing the barracks in the stable. And stable's the big one. So Vinch will have scouts on the map. TaToH 4 fishing ships on the left side already, though. And look, dude, look at Vinch. Just like you said, the normal dock position would be on this side. And if he's not thorough enough, he will assume that TaToH's not there.
He just leaves.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, there's no dock there. And he always splits it up. Okay, he's learned a little bit. He knows.
Yeah.
He knows the tactics. He's going to find that dock here from TaToH. He actually might find that villager because he saw the palisade was deleted. But TaToH actually adds an outpost on the other side. And he's got his scout over here to protect. So playing really safe here, TaToH. Vinchester going for another dock over on the right side. So he's expanded out a little bit. And his scout has been roaming around that area looking for villagers coming forward. Like you said, the respect is insane.
It's so insane. Like,
not even trying to attack.
Yeah, exactly. They're not trying to do significant damage to either player because they just expect the opponent will not receive any. It's wild. Like, compared to some other games, this is completely different. I mean, even TaToH, like, he makes one fire galley, but he's not concerned. He's going to add fish. Vinch, this is the actual level that they're thinking at, right? Vinchester knows, because TaToH's scout was on the left, and the way TaToH was moving it, that TaToH expects him to go there and make a ship, so he's not even going to go over there. He's like, nope, I can't win that pawn now because TaToH knows about it.
And Vinch knew that there was going to be archers likely coming forward from TaToH, so he makes the tower already on the gold.
Yep. Really smart
move. This is really, really nice from both of them. I think aggression might have actually done a lot of damage here, but they were playing, they were playing like their opponent wasn't going to go super aggressive. They were giving him a ton of respect, and they're both in a pretty equal position at the moment. TaToH's going to go up first with a little bit of a better eco with Persians. But like we always say, if you're Byzantines and you get to Castle Age with around equal pop, that's a phenomenal position for you.
And
TaToH... Byzantines just need to be around the same level of their opponent.
And TaToH losing that army is not really going to help things because now he's behind and when it comes to some army control on land. He is getting some walls off on the left. He'll have a lot behind these walls here, but I think Vinchester will be very happy with the kills. He also kills TaToH's scout, so it's 5-1 KD for Vinch. Vinchester's got the safe fish in the north. He's got awareness and vision on the right side. 2-2 on the pawns, and he'll click up here.
TaToH's already up. A little bit faster for him with Persians. The second range goes up, so maybe cav archers for TaToH.
You know what? TaToH does more these days than he did, say, 2 years ago. He goes all in castle so much now. I saw it at NAC. He did it against TaToH multiple times in this tournament. Like, he just gets into this state in castle where a lot of players say, let's go imp. And TaToH's like, no, actually, I'm going to drop 3 more military buildings, get 3 more upgrades, and add rams. And just send it. And this is a matchup where I think you want to do that. Because if this goes imp, Persians have a very awkward tech tree compared to the Byzantines.
I mean, even sometimes in Castle Age.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if you can't break them and you're going cav archers against Byzantines and they have walls, it can be really, really tough. And then you're focused on, like, who gets the better castle position. Then you're trying to get into a treb war with Byzantines. It's a nightmare.
Isn't it wild
It's
how
completely
TaToH doesn't even know Vinchester has this weird wall in the back? He has no clue. Like, he was so late to scouting. If he was aggressive on the front of Vinchester's base, Vinchester could have had some really tough times. And Vinchester picks off an archer there. Nice pick off.
Bodkin arrows coming in for TaToH. Fletching just now coming in for Vinchester. TaToH should be able to clear this archer army if Vinchester still wants to attack.
Vinch is going to dive this, isn't he? He's bringing
15
this
seconds
south.
away for TaToH from Bodkin. 15 seconds away, and TaToH steps in, and he's going to lose all the archers.
Oh, man. What a find from Vinch. That's so good. That's actually so sick.
He should have just kept running, dude. I don't know why he stepped in to try and fight that.
Yeah, that was tough. See, when the scouts are there, it's like just enough where you need to actually engage because you might lose a unit or two. I don't know.
But you run away and wait till the scouts are close to do that.
Yeah.
You don't try and pick off the archers, right?
I think
Especially with Bodkin arrow coming in.
I think it's hard to pay attention to the actual second your upgrades are coming in, so you're just kind of looking at your units, expecting them to be that next level, and it didn't happen in time.
He was sending a villager forward at the same time, so TaToH was thinking about forward siege workshop. He had to send it back after he lost those archers. So a lot of the momentum already stalled out. That was a great clear up there from Vinchester. Some crossbows still being annoying in the back, and it's 3 town centers for TaToH with 10 fishing ships with Persians. So the economy is going to scale upwards for him, but if Vinchester can hold the map control, this could be really dangerous for TaToH.
The level's so high. I mean, I know TaToH has lost some units, and he's about to lose more. But still, everything's so well balanced and structured right now. The timings on the eco upgrades, the TCs are so sick. But Vinchester's now scaling this army as he traps the knight into such a good position, Dave. And, I mean, if he can go fast imp, if he could somehow get the eco to click up to imp before TaToH's eco has too much time to cook, this could be really dangerous for TaToH.
Fish are almost gone in the North Pond there from Vinchester. We've still got some fish available for TaToH. I'm not certain if he sees the deep fish. He does. So we can take the ones in the south. But they're going to have to start adding in fish traps soon, and that's a lot of wood.
So I think the big thing for TaToH right now is how is that siege going to pay off for him? Because he's committed to the eco side. He's already ahead there. But Vinch is going for the timings with ballistics, and I think imp will follow as well. With Byzantines, with the fish boom, it only feels natural. So siege needs to find some big shots. I don't know about you, but I think scorpions are being a little overmade these days. I like to see mangonels now from TaToH. 1 scorpion's fine, but like if you commit to too many scorpions and your opponent adds 1 mangonel, they're useless.
Yeah.
You really need your own mangonels here.
It just feels so tantalizing, right? Eventually, I'm going to get ballistics. He's got crossbows. My scorpions can push them away. And they're so cheap.
Yeah.
Right? They're so cheap. But,
Yeah.
mangonel could be huge.
Let's see, though. I mean, Vinchester, I'm still not certain exactly how he's going to play this. He could still go for the 3rd TC. He might just
got thumb ring.
Choose to micro against everything here. Yeah, ballistics is in. And thumb ring. And the scorpion's going to go down. And there's another scorpion behind it. Honestly, it could have been a worse engagement for TaToH because he's getting a lot of hits here.
He saves the Scorp initially from the camel. He microed that down, and now these crossbows are very weak with thumb ring, of course, but Vinchester needs to get as close as possible to this, and the micro from TaToH is insane. Vinchester is going to get all of his army cleared here.
Wow. Dude, I mean, Vinchester's going to want that one back. If those camels just focused on the 2 scorpions, he saves most of those crossbows there, but I think maybe we caught him where he's looked back at home to add some fish traps or whatever else you really need to manage here.
The reset is not in Vinchester's favor either, because TaToH has Persians, 3 TCs.
Yeah.
And TaToH is keeping them producing. Really, really solid from him. 69 villagers against 54 from Vinchester. Vinchester has 4 more fishing ships, but he's going to have to add the traps.
Yeah, and it gets kind of tricky now, right? Because now you have to force the issue again, and you're not exactly winning in the fights. So that takes focus away from adding the traps properly. Just so many different things to focus on. What is... Oh, the spearman died behind a tree near the crossbows from Vinch, and it was very confusing.
Spearman was guarding the relic for the longest time, so I think it got pulled away.
Okay.
And then sniped. Speaking of relics, right? Vinchester got one in already. Should be getting another one somewhere. Yeah, he's bringing one in right now, so that's 2.
And now we have the siege from TaToH on the hill. Yeah, it feels like pretty clear. Whoever controls the middle of this map is going to have success. The stone and the gold for both, so close to that area. And ballistics now from TaToH. He's got a 15 eco lead. Is only collected 800 more resources, which is pretty surprising.
It keeps scaling ahead. I mean, it's the 3 TCs with Persians, right? It's just scaling ahead and ahead and ahead.
Oh, man, but the Byzantine vision just offers you so much help here. Like, Vinchester doesn't even have an outpost, and he could see that entire hill. TaToH probably needs to build his own outpost there.
Could we start calling them the Vision Teens?
The Vision Teens, I like that.
I'm surprised that joke hasn't been made.
Dude, that should be
done. I'm like...
That should be in a cheesy commercial, you know?
Yeah.
Microsoft's probably pissed they're not part of a DLC right now. Like, have you tried the Vision Teens?
Oh, that was a good commercial voice, dude. Do it again.
No, I'm not
Sell
gonna
me
do it again.
something.
No.
Sell me something.
No,
Sell me
I
something.
could sell you on moving on to the next topic, which is...
All right, do it in that voice.
I'm not going to sell you a pencil. Okay?
Are you interested in moving on to the next topic?
Yeah, maybe. It actually put a lot of weird pressure on me when you did that. I don't know why. Like, casting's fine. I've done it for years, but you asked me to do something else, and I get all anxious.
Falling apart, bro.
Dude, it's like when at these LAN events when people expect me to do like normal host things. I'm like, oh god, I just can't. Like, let me talk about the game,
yeah, like
please.
the Surfshark stuff.
Yeah,
oh,
I'm
man.
like, seriously. Yeah. Especially, and I've been meaning to rant about this on stream, especially after Dash did it like 2 or 3 days in a row. Like, you want, so Dash sets the bar for those things, and then I'm supposed to follow that up? Like, come on. That's not going to happen. TaToH's in a weird position with this army, dude. I'm not sure. Like, I get why TaToH doesn't want to go forward because he's against the Vision Teens, but you could get trapped here, TaToH.
Yeah, and TaToH is going to have to look for some real good attack rounds. And Vinchester just splits around that. The camels are up against the crossbows. A lot of camels are going to die here.
Yeah.
Because Vinchester needs to respect the mangonels, and that's actually a really good fight, all things considered, for TaToH. He was very stuck here. He got a lot of value.
Castle! TaToH almost loses the foundation, but now he's got skirms, he's got army, and he's dropping a castle on the face.
It's only 4 villagers building
what?
that. We need some more urgency on this castle, dude. We got more villagers on the way, but the crossbows are coming back.
Okay.
The camels are coming forward.
Who has been training with doubt here? Clearly TaToH has. Are you kidding me?
Castle from Vinchester, and he's not screwing around. He's sending a ton of villagers. TaToH is on the way up to Imp. The crossbow army is coming back from that other engagement. The mangonel is still on the hill here, and finally the villagers show up. No urgency on the castle, dude.
What in the world? Like, if he sent the proper amount of vills, the castle probably goes up, and then he's in Imp, and then he could make trebs. But this was just not it. So wasteful to lose vills. This also gives Vinchester some time to sort his situation out behind this.
Even.
Oh, man. That's crazy.
Eco count, rather, is even. We got good fish boom behind this from Vinchester, adding in some more farms as well, and it's going to be Byzantines with a castle instead of the Persians.
And the whole point of Imp, when you don't have Bracer, is for trebs. Right? So I guess, chemistry can come in. That can still be good. But that castle is never going to complete now, and what a crazy move there. I kind of like the idea behind it if he sends 10 vills, because he pulled Vinch out of position so he could get that castle up.
So now it feels bad, because you took that fight full well knowing you were going to lose that, but you would get a castle up in a really good spot on its gold. And now the castle hasn't gone up, and you lost the army.
And he could lose some crossbows here as well. TaToH. Not the engagement he would wanted there either.
No, can't get Bracer, like you said. So the imp upgrades that come in are going to be the final armor upgrade and chemistry.
I mean, Vinch is 2 minutes away. Vinch is still pretty close by with his own castle, so TaToH could still potentially have a Treb timing. If you just forget that foundation was just denied, we've got an imp advantage for TaToH, tech advantage for TaToH for a bit, and Trebs. So maybe he still has a chance here, but I'm seeing another foundation.
I mean, he thought about that foundation on the left side near the TC, which I think is a good castle if you have a similar tech tree to your opponent.
Yeah, agreed.
But, like, that's a castle that stalls the game out another 15, 20 minutes. And TaToH knows that once you get deep against Byzantines, it's going to be really tough.
Yeah, I actually really like this castle. I know that some people are scarred right now after the other one, but you're right. You have to kill the Byzantines fast. Vinchester will see this, though. I don't know if Vinchester can deny it. You know, I've been really surprised that Vinch has made so many camels this game.
I think he might be able to.
Oh, God, never mind.
He might be able to, yeah.
I take it back.
This is brutal, dude. And now Imp is coming in.
I take it back. I mean, if you could just snipe that Treb, this is worth it. I don't think he'll get it. TaToH will keep his Treb alive. He'll kill a lot of crossbows. He kills lots of camels. And Vinchester does have 2 castles to make Trebs, but he's only producing out of 1. TaToH's got 2 Trebs. His castle will go up. This could snowball onto Vinchester here. All of his production is right behind this. All of his eco is right behind this. He is not expanding.
Yep. And if TaToH manages to sneak some cavalry, he's getting the +2 armor. He's getting bloodlines right now. If he manages to sneak some of that into Vinch's eco, it suddenly gets really messy.
Agreed.
Really, really messy.
Vinch will have Arbalest, though, and Vinch has Bracer. And he's already teching Halb. So, again, just not things that the Persians can easily compete with. TaToH needs to repair that castle. Them
in the castle, because that's putting out a lot of damage.
I think TaToH should do the same. TaToH should be doing the same. Put your units inside the castle. Oh, man, look at how much stone Vinchester's mining, though, Dave. He's got 17 vills on stone, and he's Byzantines. TaToH does have a bombard cannon on the way. Vinchester has 2 on the way. This kind of feels like a Lowy the Legends game. You don't see pros putting 20 units inside their castles that frequently for the extra projectiles. Like, this is... it's smart, but it's just not a situation you normally expect. There's more units inside of castles than outside of castles.
He's got to delete those palisade walls. It's making life very, very difficult for him. This castle, even though it's a Byzantine castle, I mean, there's 5 Trebs attacking this. It's going down. TaToH's pressure is working out right now. Vinchester has made the switch into Halberdier. He knows he wants to go Arbalest Halb. He's somehow still not losing stone because of the 17 on stone while repairing this so heavily.
Dude.
But the castle does fall.
The biggest thing for skirmishers is the armor, and Persians still have that. So if you're up against solely Arbalest Halb, the skirms could still be pretty good. TaToH has the map control on the left. Now, Vinchester does have 4 relics, but there's just aspects of the map that Vinch has no vision and control over. So maybe now TaToH could start to take that map and like, could you get to Savar here maybe if you're TaToH?
I think you could, right? If you retain access to the golds. He's going for more outposts around the map. He's going to find the extra golds on the right. There's golds on the left that are very exposed. But if he keeps Vinchester busy, Vinchester probably won't come out to investigate those.
And there goes TaToH. His army is kind of a throwaway army in his eyes, and he just needs to kill those gold units. He's microing one to regroup against the bombard cannons, and he's giving himself that time. His castle's still standing.
Really, really solid job from TaToH. Also, a lot of production buildings forward there went down, right? Archer range, a couple barracks as well from Vinchester, which is going to hurt him. Needs to add more behind. And
the cannons, too. That's worth it for TaToH. Sniping the cannon. His own Trebs firing on the singular Treb from Vinch. And if TaToH can just be patient. Oh, big attack round from TaToH. And he also took out the Treb at the same time. If TaToH can click Savar right now and start to mass those units, he could have a big surprise for Vinchester soon.
Yeah, Vinchester knows it's coming. He's already teched into help. Like, he knows that it's going to be either Hussar or Savar at some point, but he's so busy with this pressure from TaToH. TaToH has done such a wonderful job over on this side.
And it's really tough for Vinch to really know how to address this because you're just running into the same problems. There's too many Trebs to deal with, and there's too many bombard cannons. And the longer you wait, the more opportunity there is for TaToH to do just that. Get Savar.
Savar is on the way.
And dude,
Oh,
Savar, and do you fight the main army or do you raid? Because I kind of feel like a raid would be pretty sick here.
I think you got the main army busy. You go in on the right side, right into the eco, which is like 10 Savar.
Yeah.
And then Vinchester suddenly faces a really difficult dilemma where he still has to kill the Trebs and micro against the bomber cannons. But he's going to save his vills.
Look at TaToH use these skirms again. He says, I see your bomber cannon. And he's going to go snipe that. And that's his castle foundation.
Yes.
I mean, that'd be crazy for either player to build a castle. But TaToH, you got to think about that one a little bit more, dude. That's not it. Not yet.
He's waiting. He's waiting for Savar to come in. It's still 30 seconds away. It takes so long trying to make that castle. The villagers are dying. He has 127 of them. It's going to be fine. Not enough halbs right now for Vinchester. Only 3 halbs on the field. TaToH might kill his own foundation with the bomber cannons if he's not careful, but he's going to start making this castle soon.
Eventually, the skirms are going to stand on top of it for a while, but Vinchester can just not keep up. The skirms, again, just standing on top of the foundation. Dude, move. Dude, move off.
It's almost better that they've been standing on there to prevent it from going down.
This is a bug, by the way, that has been in the game for a couple patches. So I don't know if there's any devs watching, but there we go. There we go. Like you said, it was maybe all part of the plan there from TaToH. The castle will go up. The Savar are in. Dude, Vinch is dead. He's dead at 180 pop, it feels like.
And look at that. Commanderan on the way from TaToH. So it's going to be Savar crossbow for him.
Look at the amount of gold he has, dude. He's got the gold on the left. He's got access to golds on the right. Vinchester might have the relics, but Vinchester just cannot stop these castles. When do you see the Persians pushing the Byzantines like this in early M?
This is just really, really nice that it was a recognition from TaToH. I'm not going to go for the safe castle on the left. I'm going to make another one in the middle, and I'm going to push. Because if I don't push, I'm going to be in trouble.
Yep.
And this has been such a great result from him as he's just sitting under the castle, sniping bombard cannons. Another castle from Vinchester is going to go down. He still has 2 more on the right side protecting his eco, but there's a lot of exposed eco on the left and in the north.
Yeah, and I know Vinch's pop is high, but there shouldn't be an easy way back now. Most of his production buildings have army around it. So
he can't deal with the Trebs.
He's just going to be losing.
Can't deal with the Trebs.
Yeah, that too. I mean, he's going to lose all those buildings as well. No real opportunity for raids. I mean, there is a couple raiding units on the left. Maybe Vinchester could keep trying to do that, but focus number 1 needs to be keeping himself alive, and these trebuchets have done 57,000 damage.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's crazy. They're going to take out another castle here, and now it's TaToH's turn to play patient. Just let the Trebs work. Let them come to you. Maybe get some raids in on the side if you can, but at this point, Vinchester's going to be crazy to take out these Trebs.
Yep, he'll dive. It is still a comp that Byzantines can do very well with.
Takes out 2.
But he can't take all the Trebs. And he couldn't take the bomber
between
cannons.
the Trebs, dude. He already took out 2 of them.
Okay,
He's gonna take out another one.
I think TaToH will kill that, though. And TaToH still has 2 Trebs firing. Now 1 still firing. Vinch repairing. But he's getting raided on the right. He should be raided on the left if TaToH notices that. I think TaToH's... he's about to find there's 30 villagers there when he goes to take that stone. Wow, but Vinch...
And he's getting raided in the north, too. Vinchester losing a lot of villagers up there. The castle's going to go down soon, but the bomber cannons died, too.
I mean, Vinch is somehow holding on.
There's another bomber cannon on the way, man. TaToH's not paying attention. This Treb might go down before the castle does.
He does repair the Treb and snipe the cannon. And now there's Savar on the left. This is what I'm waiting for. Like, Vinch... He still hasn't pushed the Trebs back, and then he's got just 30 villagers with no protection on the left side.
Vinch is about to lose, like, 50 vills.
Yeah. And his castle.
That's crazy.
Because there's still Trebs coming. And TaToH's crossbows only cost wood. So, super cheap for him to spam those. And he's got access to all the gold, all the stone on the map right now.
Look at that castle from TaToH! What?
Vinchester taps out. Man, how often do you see someone fail a castle like that and still win the game? That was crazy. I thought TaToH was so dead here.
Against Byzantines, too.
Yeah.
That's insane. Imagine how much worse it would have been for Vinch if he hadn't failed that castle, right? TaToH just playing amazing. I think Vinchester, with Byzantines, you want to play patient. right? So like,
Which he did.
I don't think he should have been a little bit more aggressive or anything there, but maybe some raids over to the left, maybe just a couple arbalists over there could have been really disgusting for TaToH, right? Control the golds on the right potentially, just a few units here and there, and you make TaToH's life a lot more difficult than it was in this game.
So prior to TaToH clicking the Cavalier upgrade, how many knights did he actually make in this game? Because I would guess that it's probably below 5,
I
right?
think he made like 2. Yeah.
Okay, so remember the engagement near Vinchester's walls where it was like mangonels from TaToH crossbows?
Yep.
And he just dove with +2 armored camels. I was thinking then, didn't really have time to say it, camels feels like kind of a weird choice. I'm sure he was expecting knights, but he made a lot of camels. I know they're cheap. And then as well, like he continued to make camels in the middle. And I don't know what 32 Byzantine camels comes out to math-wise, but if the reason Vinchester lost was mainly because of the Imperial Age timing, you don't make camels. You're up to imp fast, and you probably don't, this doesn't snowball on you. So I think he was expecting TaToH to go knight crossbow all-in castle, and so that's why he made the camels. But really, for me, it just felt like an overcommitment to army there from Vinchester, maybe. But, I mean, you're like, the other thing, too, is like, I am very pro making tons of army and tons of upgrades when players are this close. So I don't hate it with that in mind. It's just crazy from TaToH that he was able to get the snowball rolling. And yeah, he wins the first game.
It's just really, really solid. Unexpected from that game state to, even if Persians have more villagers there, you're looking at a failed castle. You're looking at Byzantines only being like 2 minutes behind the imp or whatever he was.
Mm-hmm.
And you're already not pushing the Byzantine castle with trebs with your imp advantage. Like, it's very, very strange for the Persians to win that. And it just shows how good TaToH is.
Yeah, agreed. But another thing to mention in terms of like where things could have gone differently. Remember that engagement with the camels, the scorpions at the start of castle? It's like you got 4 camels, you got ballistics, your opponent doesn't. I think that should be an easy wipe. And then TaToH has some real problems, but instead TaToH didn't have problems. It was kind of 50-50. So
or if Vinch went crossbow mangonel monk or something like that instead of the camels.
But that's competitive AoE when you're up against a player of TaToH's caliber. You look at a couple minor things, and even though Vinch played towards imp, even though he had the comp he wanted, even though he got 4 relics, like there's still things that went wrong. So Vinch will want that one back, I think. TaToH will obviously be very pleased. And we have another Shoals game number 2. But for those that watched Andy Hart, I can promise you that this Shoals game will not be what we saw there. People might be a little shoaled out right now. Oh, I get that. Instead of a sellout, you're
shoaled out.
You shoaled out?
You shoaled out.
We haven't shoaled out yet, but we might be a little shoaled out by the end of group stage. I'm at 0 seconds then.
Yeah, same.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Here we are. So I'm just going to start off talking about what I didn't like about 2 of the Shoals games today. And basically, my issue is we have had a lot of players commit tons to water and then not prioritize taking the golds on the side. And so I think if you want to commit a lot to water, there's reasons for that. But ultimately, the end state is you want TCs and relics and gold control. Mm-hmm. So I think Vinchester has picked a civilization that is very clearly not designed around winning water, unlike the Malay and the Italians and all of that. So I'd expect almost just based on Civ alone that Vinch will not play water here. TaToH as a Saracens
might open
has
scouts
the option.
with Hindustanis.
Yeah.
You never know. Like, if you have a few fish near your tower, taking in the food, maybe afford a few scouts, take map control, and then get to Castle Age a little bit faster if your opponent's just going water control.
So Vinchester trained a ton with ACCM for Wandering Warriors Cup. And there was that map Graupel, where ACCM had the strat of going forward villager scouts against walls.
He broke every wall.
And he just broke every wall.
In front of him.
Yep.
And then Viper.
And then the other
it's
thing
not
that
good.
But the other detail ACCM did in one of the games too was he actually made 2 galleys from his starting dock and sniped fish then. You could do that so much easier here. You still fish, you open scouts, the opponent respects that and thinks, okay, free fish boom, whatever. And then you could also make galleys. I kind of I kind of like this pick of Hindustanis.
I mean, it's just really solid, right? Hindustanis are good in basically every age of the game. It's really, really solid save. Very similar to Saracens in some ways, but then other ways, of course, like the galley attack speed for the Saracens, like the archer play for the Saracens, a little bit better.
If Vinchester is fully saturated on gold and has a full boom, I think this is horrible for Saracens to know what to make against Imperial camel. Their own camels are just worse. Unless they go for Mamelukes
damage.
But it's not, even then, like, I played this matchup many times, and Hindustanis are just way better. So
I think it's also difficult with Mamelukes if you're looking at fighting two sides.
True. Yep.
Really, really, like, Mamelukes are good if you get like 40 of them in a mass against Imp Camels, maybe you can do something. But
Agreed.
If you're being pressured on multiple angles, really difficult. If you have water control, though, suddenly the look of this map kind of changes, right? If you have late game water control in an Imperial matchup with Saracens, you can range a lot of those castles on the sides. You can control a lot of the gold and a lot of the space just in general.
So I've got a prediction here. And I predict this game will be over an hour and 20 minutes game time. I think this game's bonkers.
47 minutes and 20 seconds.
Okay. And it just ends
What was yours? An hour and 20?
An hour and 20. So there's a pretty big gap.
And the second count is what?
Oh, exact. Well, let's go 118.47. Those are the numbers that feel right.
118.47. Okay, mine's 47.20.
Okay. All right. Well, see, a lot of the times we've seen games end in like mid castle and early imp, but I felt as though we still have not seen a lot of players playing this map that smart. I've disagreed with some aspects of strategy, so considering it's these two, and I think they've got good heads on their shoulders for how they're going to adapt their play, I would expect it to go longer.
Vinch is going up early, and he's going to gold.
Yeah.
So that implies that he's going to make at least a couple galleys. He only sent 2 to gold. I think this might be just a few galleys to try and snipe the fish, and then you adapt.
But adapt into what? It feels like he's just going to go 2 dock galleys. I thought he was going to go... I mean, I really wanted to see scouts, but maybe that's not a good play.
He chops the tree so he can place a dock over it, and then he realizes this isn't a straggler tree, so he can't do that, maybe? Is it a straggler tree?
Doesn't have the wood. I think he should be able to. Can't really tell if it's a straggler or not. It should be buildable. Well, yeah, there you go.
Yep.
Okay. So scout from Vinchester, scouting TaToH side. I will say Vinch is very fast up, but it does feel very similar to some other games we've seen where you're almost too fast.
Andy.
Yeah.
He's going to be able to afford 1 galley. No, he could afford 2 galleys. If he drops off the wood now, he could go for 2 galleys. Right away. This is actually really nice. Yeah. That's really nice, dude.
Now, does he bring the Vils? He's getting loom. He has to be going forward with a Vil if he's getting loom, right? Am I crazy?
Maybe. Which side does he go forward on? Left side?
I guess maybe he needs scouting intel first.
I mean, you also get loom here because you really don't want to lose random villagers against your opponent's scout.
Yeah, that's true.
Feels terrible.
That's true. We did remove the crocodiles. Older versions had crocodiles near the gold. I felt that it was a little unfair at times for like random outpost villagers to just be dying to crocs. It was just unnecessarily annoying, so... Look at TaToH.
You're becoming more and more of a player every single time I talk to you. Old Caster T9 would be like, add some more, dude. Add some more crocs.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. There's levels to it, right? Like some players are just like, 90% of the maps but Arabia suck. You know, I'm not that far. I really want like players to work and be strategic. But things being unnecessarily annoying is not good. And Vinchester's lost his scout to the spear. That spear... just got 3 snipes there, and I'm guessing
with the galleys. He sniped 1 fishing ship.
Yeah, that was it.
And it's actually TaToH that has very low water investment.
Dude,
just 1 galley of his own.
I mean, the fact that Vinch lost a scout is one thing. The fact that TaToH's going scouts and Vinch didn't even see the stable is another thing.
Brutal.
Vinchester also housed at the moment.
And Vinch, like, he is still a long way away from getting the full walls up. He's got the walls on the left side. That's great, but like wide open over there on the right through the middle.
Yeah,
and
that
TaToH might catch him off guard. It's a good thing Vinchester did get Loom here.
Yeah, that's true. It's a really good point. Yeah, I mean, he's going to add his own stable and adapt into this. So I like the play from both. And the galleys from Vinchester sniped one fish. And he did queue up a couple more behind this. So he feels like TaToH doesn't really have a lot on water. And that's a good call. He saw one galley from TaToH, but he doesn't see anything more than that. So
and that one galley, it's really trying to snipe the weak galley from Vinchester. And now TaToH's got two, so he could come forward, and Vinchester has to respect that a little bit. Scouts are coming in. Vinchester's going to be like, oh my god. This sucks, dude. Absolutely sucks. TaToH commits for that villager and takes a lot of damage on that scout.
Yeah, a lot to manage. That now Vinchester is pulling the galleys back towards the tower. TaToH was sniping the weak galley in that moment, it looked like. This is good, though, dude.
Faster firing speed. This is really nice for TaToH, I think.
I mean, it's really tricky, but I love what this game has turned into. It scales so nicely for both to have some scouts on the field. And it's not this crazy, like, 12 galleys versus 12 galleys when you can't even get past the sea tower situation. So, feels really smart for both.
It's a lot more comfortable for TaToH here. He's dictating both the land and the water pressure at the moment.
Yep. Agreed. But Vinchester has his own stable. I was thinking maybe he would make his own scouts, but it could just be for camels and light cav later on. Technically, I mean, from Vinch's perspective, he just has to use 1 or 2 spears to protect from the scouts, and then he can just focus fully on water. And then everything else is fine.
It's annoying, right? Because you see one dock from TaToH, and then there's 2 galleys, 3 galleys, 4 galleys. So he's clearly producing, but how much does he want to keep producing?
Yeah.
And it's also Saracen galleys. So in equal numbers, his galleys are going to be better than yours. So far, TaToH's shown the better micro on water, too. And TaToH's clicking up to Castle Age because
so good.
He's got the Saracen market. Snipes another galley. So even with 2 docks here versus 1, Vinchester is not able to keep up with TaToH on water.
So good from TaToH. Super smooth, man. I honestly think I would just see fires. Yeah, like, it's 5 galleys v 5 galleys. Like, 2 fires upgraded, kill that, and kill all the fish, and it's way less investment. That's the whole game plan here, is invest as little as possible in water, but still don't give it up entirely.
Spearman's going to find the scouts in the corner.
I forgot they were back there, yeah.
He noticed in time, dude. That's crazy. That's crazy. TaToH's playing really well today.
Yeah, Vinch is like, where did those things go? Maybe a trap potential here for Vinch, a quick gate or something. And TaToH, all right. Well, he still hasn't lost a scout. But they're pretty weak.
Full vision, though, on whatever Vinchester is doing.
Yep.
If TaToH comes into the main part of his base, like, there's no secrets here. And this is, as a player, this could be really, really frustrating for Vinchester.
The thing that's really going to hurt for Vinch here is when TaToH's up. Because he's hoping that TaToH, since he produced scouts, will be later up. But TaToH's macroed pretty nicely. Kind of an awkward thing here. But Vinch, his best option at killing off those scouts is something from his stable. But he could use his own stable units to surprise TaToH. TaToH doesn't actually know the stable's there. So you're really resisting the urge to go chase those down. If TaToH were to leave his base right now and go TC or get relics, like, he just doesn't know that Vinch has the scouts out at all.
TaToH's waiting for War Galley to come in. He could actually leave with these fires right now instead of engaging against those. Like, go around the side and then show up at the fish. Because I think Vinchester has enough respect now for the galleys to leave those alone.
Vinch is also still got to be so paranoid about those scouts. Wow, TaToH didn't have Bowsaw this game. Just realized that.
Double bit axe.
Or double bit axe, sorry. Yep. And Vinch finds them. Gets 1 kill. Gets 2 kills. And we'll get all 3 kills there. And that's because TaToH's on water right now.
Yeah, TaToH killed 2 fish. Still chasing away these galleys, but Vinchester has more. So TaToH's going to lose one of the war galleys there. Still, the fires are a threat to Vinchester until he gets the war galley upgrade himself, which is just coming in right now. 2 extra town centers were added behind this for TaToH. And Vinchester's going to control water, so good job from Vinch.
Yep, really good job. Now, it's still a lot more work than TaToH's current situation. I question if there's any immediate reward because you still can't kill the sea tower. You still can't fish easily if there's fires out there. TaToH's scout, I think, is on auto scout, and Vinch patrolled and has just been chasing this scout. Like, maybe it's not on auto scout. He's probably bringing it home now. But that's good for TaToH to know that Vinchester's out in the field with some scouts.
Yeah. Good thing TaToH Saracens as well, because his food eco was not looking very good. He's dropping a bunch of farms now to make up for the fact that his fish are about to die, right? He didn't have a lot of food coming in.
Yeah.
And Saracen cheaper food buying is really nice for these 3 TCs at the moment. It's necessary.
Camels out there for TaToH. Now, at this age, I would say that the Saracen camels may actually be better. The Byzantines, or sorry, the Hindustanis attack faster.
Hindustanis still, I mean, without bloodlines, they might be. I don't know. I think that his Hindustanis still clear them.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's, I guess, close-ish. At the end of the day, monks might make a big difference there. And Vinch is trying to make a move for this sea tower. He really wants to freely fish, I think, on water with his water control. But TaToH, he's still going to keep that sea tower up here. And TaToH goes for TC number 4, but still no town centers in the gold areas. So neither player comfortable enough to move out there for that. Man.
Or TCs. The market's helping a lot. The eco upgrades are not there for TaToH right now.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Vinchester's done a much better job. How much of that is cheaper Hindustani villagers here? I think that helps a lot, being able to get these upgrades.
Yeah, a little bit.
TaToH's being patient. He's waiting for a big demo, and he's going to get it just to keep the sea tower alive. Dude, the tower is insane. TaToH's playing this perfectly. I really think, like, minimal investment into water, harassing the opponent on land. The eco upgrades aren't there. But Vinch still has not really been able to fish in the middle.
It's going to start fishing soon. Just got to clear up this dock, get that flag off of that, and see what's inside. And then you should be fine. TaToH could always go for additional docks, like sneakily, but I think Vinchester can control that. Now the monk with the relic being targeted by the scout. That's excellent work there from Vinch.
Yeah, great job from Vinch. Vinch is in a bit of a groove here, isn't he? His scouts have been active on both sides. He's taken out the tower now. 3 TCs. If any player was in a position to go TC the outside area, it would be Vinch, because he can see the right side. But with that, it would feel natural for probably TaToH to take the left, because he's got a camel over there. And there's not a whole lot of activity from Vinchester there.
All right, Vinch, add like 6 fishing ships once you clear the stock. And that's it. No more.
Yeah.
Don't want to see, like, I think one of the Gold League games, I saw like 30-something. I can't remember if it was in Gold League or if it was just a Shoals game in a different tournament, but someone really produced fishing ships.
And then it's like, and then you add the fish, you start to set up the fish traps, and then your opponent just wins water back in Imp. And then your eco gets sniped.
Well, it got to a point where all the fish was gone from the map. I can't remember who it was. Maybe it's like Dark in a show match or something like that. But I
watched Dark's POV in a show match, I think against Barles on Shoals, and he was Dravidians.
Yeah, might have been. Yeah.
Look at these relics come back from Vinch. He even got the relic in the middle, so someone's paying attention. So he'll have 3 relics.
TaToH finally does see the one on the other side, so TaToH's going to have 2 relics from this side.
Bro. What was my number? 11842 or something?
Yep.
I'm feeling really good about that right now. TaToH is going to take the left side. Vinchester's going to take the right side. Vinch is going to drop more stables for some army on the right, potentially. That could be an issue for TaToH. But then on the left, TaToH's got some army there. I still do think, like, Saracens just can't let this get late game, at least without water control. I guess that's a big advantage for Saracens. If they can have galleons and cannon galleons in the middle.
I don't know. I think, like, Saracens is one of the few civs that can deal with Hindustanis in late game.
Yeah, but like against Imp Camel though, like 40 Imp Camels feel really tough to deal with. I guess, like, I think if you want to end it early Imp, Saracens are really solid here. I don't know. We'll see. It's an awkward matchup. You don't really see that frequently. Gotta say though, TaToH was very late to TCing the gold. And he does have outposts here, so he'll know that Vinch is over here. And I think
I like
the TC
that little
will
quick
go
wall
up.
attempt. That was great. That was a nice touch. One little palace. He got away with the Vil. What on earth?
It's all part of his plan, dude. Just so we can convert the camel. Yeah, so like Arabia TaToH, he drops stables now and makes tons of army. But on Shoals, a lot of the time, especially if the opponent knows you're there, they will aim to drop a castle over here to take you off the gold.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be 5 relics from Vinch. That's the last relic on the map.
Very low gold income from TaToH. Of course, he can make his way around that with the market. Once this TC goes up, he'll have additional villagers on gold, but still 2 on gold at the moment.
Yeah.
Suddenly, he decided that he needed all of the eco upgrades because he went from none to getting handcart now with heavy plow.
Dude, he's
As
gonna
the
need
comes forward here from Vinch.
he's gonna need something to protect his eco. He needs to actually counter castle this underneath his TC. Yep, there he goes.
Doesn't have enough bills though.
But
He doesn't have enough bills, dude.
Yeah, you're right. He was just too late. He's got so many of those vills at home. Now he will use the market, balance out his eco, click up faster. And Vinchester will probably be right behind him. This is TaToH's way back into the game, is trebbing that down.
I also think like the food price is currently quite high. It's 100 and whatever gold.
Mm-hmm.
And TaToH's got 46 on food. So even if he temporarily loses like control of the golds on the sides, he can keep himself competitive with the market.
Yep, I could see that. But Vinch is actively mining gold and will have 5 relics. And long term is going to have Grand Trunk Road. So that makes the gold income even faster. So Vinch should be in the much better position. And my thinking is just spam camels. The opponent doesn't have Halb. And your camels are so strong that you can take out buildings, you can take out the trebs.
I like this switch from TaToH to think about water. He's got a dock foundation there, but Vinchester already has the ships, right? So if Vinchester sees this early, could be really bad for TaToH. It's all about where this fire is. And can that fire see the dock? The fire sees the dock.
Yeah. So TaToH's got, what, 13 on gold. Maybe some of that's back home. Yeah, there's a little bit of gold back there. See if Vinch actually brings the rest of his navy over to deal with that.
I think.
Oh, he doesn't actually have
earlier.
He doesn't actually have a ton of navy.
He's got nothing now.
Yeah.
He's lost it all.
Okay.
Lost the other 2 against the camels now. So TaToH is going to have priority on water. Vinchester has priority on the golds on the sides. But I think if the Saracens can kind of play defensively and take water, they can keep themselves alive with their market long enough to then start using that water to help take control of these gold areas.
Well, it can also be very interesting setup play, too. Because now Vinch just wanted this easy land game. And now he has to worry about everything. So you've got to worry about defending your own gold, and debate on if you need a castle on the right. You now need to think, how good is the Hindustani water tech tree? Which I'm thinking right now, and I honestly don't have many answers. I guess it's decent. They can get galleons.
They don't get shipwright. They don't get dry dock.
Yeah, they're not Saracens, I guess.
They don't get fast fire. They don't get heavy demo. But they get elite cannon galleon, and they get galleon.
So not good enough for me to want to switch off of land when I've got 5 relics and I know how good the Saracen water is. Yeah.
It's very mid.
All right, so the reason I love Hindustanis is not because of heavy camel. It's imp camel. That's a long way away. And, like, TaToH's coming back on the water now.
Camels are in. The camels are in from Vinch. TaToH, instead of going for a stone gate, he went for a palisade gate.
Oh, shoot.
And that was never going to stop these camels. And now he's got some big problems. He's getting heavy camel of his own, but still.
That's annoying. That's really annoying. I'm sure he'll deal with it, but that's 30 or 40 villagers that go idle in a moment you really can't have it.
Camels might get into Vinchester's base. Vinchester deleted the wall to move the villagers over there. The camels are coming in from TaToH. And these are heavy camels with the Saracens. These things have 170 HP. Here they come. So camel raids on both sides, and Vinchester doesn't realize this is happening. Good thing TaToH's only attacking a farm.
Yeah, TaToH's going to kill farmers now, though. And the camels for TaToH have enough HP to hold. Imp camels on the way for Vinch. And now Vinch is diving with his camels to snipe the trebs. Dave, I was just thinking, could you wall this up somehow? But there's so many things to look at. And the trebuchets for TaToH are gonna... Man, I can't even see one of them. That one is I think it's gonna die.
The camels in Vinch's base have been going kind of crazy here. They killed like 12 villagers already.
Yeah,
Vinchester needs to send all his reinforcements back to deal with that.
Yeah, but TaToH needs gold. Like, he needs gold badly. He cannot lose this castle.
Sell the wood.
He can't lose the castle. He's got to do the same thing to Vinch. Can Vinch hop in and out of the castle and wall in that Treb? It's so tough.
He can repair it from the other side. Blast Furnace is coming in 15 seconds, so better damage output on these camels soon. The Bombard Cannon does go down. The Treb goes down, and the castle gets saved by TaToH, and he just retreats with the camel. He didn't even lose a single camel there, dude. He lost one.
TaToH also killed 25 Vils in the back. I know the Vils are cheap to replenish, but still, that was a crazy raid from him. This is where I'm concerned, though. You've got 160 HP, 8 base attack against 170 HP. Okay. 7 base attack. And TaToH has Blast Furnace as well. And a lot more camels here.
I think it goes like Imp Camel, then Gajaras, then Saracens for the
camel war.
The matchup. Or maybe there's like some weird crossover I don't know.
Yeah,
someone in chat can tell us.
Yeah, I think if the full upgrades are in, Imp Camel shreds. That's just speaking through experience.
He doesn't even have Iron Casting or Blast Furnace.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have the final armor. And TaToH's just going to take out another Treb and save the castle once again. And keep attacking the castle from Vinch. Vinch only has 70 stone in the bank.
Wow. Vinch is going to castle the right side. And Vinch still has full control over there. So eventually, TaToH needs to get out of this mindset of just stabilizing. He has to fully lock down this gold before he can go anywhere else. TaToH using the choke points and dropping houses here just to protect his Trebs. But Vinch has faith in the camels. Here we go. The Great Camel War.
They should clear this. He's just got more.
He doesn't have armor, and he doesn't have Blast Furnace, and he's shredding in that fight. I think. Yep. Maybe not. Maybe not.
TaToH's got reinforcements coming in. Maybe
not.
A full reset here. Maybe a full reset.
Maybe not.
Hang on a second. TaToH brought the numbers later, and Vinchester didn't have reinforcements coming forward. Blast Furnace is on the way. Still lacking the final armor upgrade, but the Bombard Cannons now working away on the Treb from TaToH, and Vinchester's going to hold this castle, maybe. It's just a tale of two castles over here.
Barista Man is on the way. The monks are going to start healing with an area.
Oh, that's sick.
That's a great change.
That's really sick. Dude, that's such a great addition there from TaToH.
But he has no gold. Like, he's not going to make many monks. He's got 6 on gold, and I think those are villagers that are around here. He's got to sell off res, and that's not going to get much better for him. He just sold 500 food for 400 gold. That feels decent.
Bro, if you just double click these camels and look at how much HP they're recovering.
So it's actually
so much.
It's actually OP, but no one knows it yet, except for maybe TaToH. Like, it is not something you see people utilize. It is so good, and that TaToH needs it to swing fights because I still feel this situation's not good. He doesn't have gold saturation. Vinch is going to have full upgrades. Vinch is all over the gold. Vinch has 5 relics.
It's going to go down to the Treb. Nope, it missed. Okay, shot number 2. Here we go.
Oh my god. Oh my god. But still, right? Like, TaToH needs to actually push at some point. Like, this whole take a little bit of the gold, heal up my camels nonsense. It should end eventually, but man, is that a lot of camels. That is so many camels. By the way, what was your prediction again? Your time?
47-20.
They're pretty good chances, dude. You've got some pretty good chances. Here we go. So it'll be the conversions and then also the healing from that tech.
I think TaToH wins this with the healing.
I think he does too. And now the Vils come in to take the golds. Wow.
The healing is insane. There's a line of dead Imp Camels there, and TaToH is pushing this back. He's got 2 Trebs over on the other side. That castle's still standing. 24k damage taken by Vinchester's castle. And guess what? TaToH's just going to retreat and heal up all of these camels.
And then Vinch has to get herbal medicine to heal in this castle, but his castle is like, it's about to go down. That tech
These camels,
crazy.
by the way,
look how fast they heal.
Damage.
It's crazy how fast they heal. That's 3 monks, like, and half the monks aren't even healing.
It doesn't even feel broken to me because you have to get the tech, you have to get the monks, and you have to play the right way. Like, there's a lot of conditions to making this tech really, really strong, and TaToH's doing all of them right now.
Yeah, I agreed. I mean, I would maybe imply the tech's a little strong personally, but you're right. You got to play it. You're right. You got to play the game. It's not just about the tech. So you have to get to this position. The fact is, TaToH has not been fighting with gold like Vinchester has. He does not have the relics, and he has held here when I thought he was completely dead. And maybe this is it. 4 or 5 conversions plus the healing can change the fights, and Vinch is going to be off of gold here, or at least out of this area.
TaToH's got these 3 monks behind, and the healing's going to make a difference, man. The castle's behind here. He's pulling it back for a little bit more healing behind this. The HP's going down, but it's also going up. Big engagement. The biggest camel fight I've seen in a long time, and I think the healing is making the difference, Tristan.
It definitely is. Man, I wish we had a stat that could show just how much HP was brought back onto these camels here. I think it has to be significant.
If you look at how much has been taken and their full HP, you can kind of see it. They've taken almost 4,000 damage, and they have they're lacking 1,400 damage right now out of these camels that are still alive.
Okay, interesting.
So like, yeah, if you just compare the current HP with the amount of damage taken, you can see it.
Well, you go ahead, do the math, and give us the stats on that, because my brain is just not able to manage that and everything else. Full reset, kind of, right? Like, Vinchester's probably going to lose these stables. This will take TaToH some time. And yet, Vinchester is loaded with gold. He is rich. So, that's bad that he can't take TaToH off of gold. But this game will go on longer.
I think it might shift to water control soon.
I mean,
it would make sense.
It could shift into that. We could see Vinchester bring in some Trebs in the south right now. There's some real opportunity to push there. I think maybe trying to raid to avoid the monks being in the fights is a good move for Vinchester. You can't give TaToH those opportunities, but there's not a lot of space to move around, and TaToH's all over him here. Wow.
47-20. I meant when Vinchester loses this left side.
Oh, yeah. Very, very bold prediction there.
Come on, TaToH, trap those in.
TaToH got pulled out of position. TaToH got pulled out of position.
Can't make a house or something?
I mean, he's going to trap him, Dave, but that's totally worth it for Vinch, because Vinch can now stall. He'll keep the stables up and snipe those Trebs and raid villagers here. That's a great find from Vinchester.
And suddenly it's 54 imp camels again for Vinch.
Yep. And TaToH's gold is disrupted. The stables are still producing. Vinchester now castling on the other side and starting to mass Trebs to think about that. That was... I think TaToH just blundered there, honestly. He chased with his whole army, and Vinchester just pulled him completely out of position.
And now it's time for, like, counterweights. We got Barista.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't get it yet. It's funny. So, last time we had Shoals in TTL, it was like TTL2, and there were a dozen practice games from like silver level players that I saw where it actually went till there was no gold on the map. I'm talking 2 hours. It was just like this, where you have both players built up on the sides. Neither player can break the other. There's 35,000 gold left on this map, but I'm telling you, I've seen it, dude. We could get there.
Big fight here without the monks. There's only one monk behind healing.
I think TaToH has a lot more camels.
TaToH still has, he's got 20 more camels than
This
Vinch.
is where I think TaToH, yeah, okay, he clicks it. I was going to say, that's where TaToH would normally want some demos, right?
Yep.
So,
and he's been seeing the random camels come across the middle.
Yeah,
too.
true.
So like a fight like that, oh god, with Vinchester massing up on the shoreline, TaToH's thinking about it.
Yeah, and that's really population efficient. One demo can make a big dent in the opponent's numbers. I think Vinch might do the same, Dave, but Vinch has got a lot of Trebs, and he's now pushing TaToH's base. This is TaToH's farming eco. So with all this focus from TaToH on his gold, he's got to get...
Bro, look at the left. Look at the left.
Okay.
The little things, man.
Okay, but I mean, TaToH gets that. He traps those camels. They're stuck, but Vinch will defend himself, and Vinch is pushing TaToH, and TaToH doesn't have a castle at home anymore.
Yeah, TaToH maybe should have had some cannon galleons as well to take out those Trebs. It could have been useful, right? But look at the numbers. He's only got 20. He's really falling behind on gold here. Vinchester, 32. Imperial camels with the Trebs on the right that TaToH just can't seem to deal with.
He has so many camels, dude. So many.
I think he's going to try and bait him into some demo shots here now.
Yeah, the first time is the best time to do it, right? Vinch could get hit on both sides, but it feels like TaToH's more worried about losing his eco in the south. Normally in late game, you want the corners, right? So if Vinch can disrupt and just deny this southern corner even, it could be a wood game. And now Vinch is
TaToH
raiding the
trying
gold.
to wall off his gold on the left side. Good house wall there.
He needs more castles there, and he needs more everything. He needs more camels right now. Needs more monks. But this seems so tough. Vinch is on the gold again. Vinch is coming through with the castle. Like, the reposition from TaToH in the south is solely because of those trebs, and now look at his camels run in fear. He's like, I'm losing everything.
He lost the demos somewhere. I don't think he got value with them.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe the fires ran into them. This is when TaToH's dead. He's dead.
He's got no gold.
He was in the game 2 minutes ago, and now he's completely dead.
I guess you just can't give up one side completely, right?
Yeah.
Like, he took over this side, but it's still being contested, which means it's not, gold income that
I think
is consistent. And Vinchester also has 5 relics with Grand Trunk Road.
Yeah. Eventually, these raids that Vinch keeps sending in to keep TaToH off of gold is just added up. And also, he hasn't been taking fights next to healing monks anymore. He's been splitting groups. Man, that moment from TaToH where he had like 50 camels chasing 20, and then he got raided in the north was crazy. And Vinch's stables have still been pumping this whole time. TaToH's not done yet. TaToH has trebs, and he's hoping to take the castle down, but he does tap out.
He's done.
And he
TaToH's
is
not
done
yet. GG.
Well, I was trying not to be the caster that says it's over.
I mean,
but wow.
That was a really cool game, and I still don't think that tech is busted, dude, because you saw how you can break it.
Yeah, you
right?
move to a different position. Yep, exactly.
If you're fighting in one spot, you have to TaToH. It's so difficult for him to keep the monks there at all times, to keep the units healing. Vinchester suddenly decides, okay, it's not a good idea for me to fight mass on mass, even with Imp Camel against those monks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift it up, and suddenly the monks are a non-factor completely.
I loved the thought from Vinch. There were 2 moments. The one I just mentioned, he pulled TaToH out of position with the raid, and then he raided the gold, kept those stables up, dude. Like, those stables were pumping the whole time because TaToH couldn't stay there. But then the trebs in the south, it wasn't taking out the castle that won him the game. It was the fact that TaToH had to bring his camels over there that won him the game.
Exactly.
And then he could raid the gold. And like you said, the monks aren't in position then. TaToH doesn't have the easy fights. And yeah, TaToH, I think the regret will actually be that he had to fight so heavily without gold in early imp in the first place. It was incredible that he was able to hold on in this game. But the difference between the two, Vinchester had the gold early, Vinchester got the relics, and TaToH never really had gold saturation in the north, which he maybe could have had with a couple more units on the field.
I think the monks probably healed, I would hazard a guess, probably around 6,000 HP.
Now,
in the entire game. Like, that is crazy. It's so much fun to watch something like that
because
we
really
never
good.
see it.
Yeah, it's really good. It's also good in team games too, right? Like, if you have a Saracen player out there, it's good. I also think it's kind of fun to combine with Mamelukes because Mamelukes have a little bit of range too.
Yeah.
So your monks can stay alive. But it was 242 camels from TaToH and 355 from Vinch. So he just was able to produce.
If you're flank, if let's say your pocket or something, or maybe you're fighting on one side, if they have elephants and then you have those monks behind, like, I could see you with like 20 monks
nuts.
And a big group of elephants and just
so
good.
I don't know if you looked at it. Did you look? Don't look if you didn't at the resources. Did you take a glance?
I took a quick glance, yeah.
Did you see TaToH made 242 camels, Vinch made 350. TaToH had 12,991 gold collected, and Vinchester had 30K.
Yeah, he had like 6K just from relics, and Grand Trunk Road actually came in clutch there for him.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy. I still can't believe TaToH actually survived that game, but wow. I mean, live standings right now, we're 1 game away from these guys being finished with their 3rd round, and they're both only at 4 wins. And here we are. So yeah, Dave, fortified clearing. I mean, this is TaToH's home map pick, but Vinchester's kind of known for being pretty good on these closed maps as well. So this could be another really good one.
He's picked Khmer. Like Vietnamese, I could see on this map. Khmer, Usually you would play towards a more arena standard civ, and obviously Khmer can make something happen. But they're not really a civ you think about when contesting relics or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, technically, I think the Khmer late game is one of the best late games out there. Ballista elephants,
if you can get there.
Elite battle elephant. But yeah, realistically, they have a really tough time against bombard cannon civs. They have a really tough time if maps can be walled. Now, I'm so disappointed that he spoiled this by saying something in my chat because it's going to look like I just am bullshitting here. But Dragonstar and Vinchester have been practicing. I have a couple games saved up to show later. And like Dragonstar and Stone Please and Gold League did some weird stuff. And like we got like Stone Please with Khmer there. I don't know if we've seen the potential of it yet, Dave, but this Khmer pick keeps popping up and all roads lead back to Dragonstar somehow.
Can you use his title, please? It's very disrespectful.
Oh,
keep calling
Dr.
him
Agonstar?
Dr. Agonstar.
True. Yeah, that's true.
It's very disrespectful, dude. He went to school for a long time for that.
Especially with 3 wins right now. I mean, the doctor's been showing up in Platinum so far. But I'll tell you, the doctor just said, does T90 know? Which is just so great. Like, that's so clickbaitable. So I don't know. Like, I saw Stone Please play Khmer. I knew it was Dragonstar influence in gold. And Stone Please, I love you, bro. But I was not impressed. it was just straight boom.
Listen, Stone Please, sometimes he can cook, man. Sometimes he can cook, and sometimes he burns the food a little bit.
I'm just saying, it was straight boom, and it was a really good boom, and then he died to bombard cannons, hand cannons, and he didn't have any relics. So I'm just like, I'm hoping that there's a little bit more to it than that here. I don't know. But I assume it's Fast Castle. Something's funny, though. So, and man, I didn't know this was going to go so deep, but I guess we've got the time. So, in Silver League, Stone Please was not favored to make it through based on, the rankings and all that. And I watched his first round versus Uzi where he swept him. And every single strat was a Dragonstar strat from the previous season's, gold. So I messaged Dragonstar. I said, I'm seeing your influence in Stone Please's strategy. And, Dr. Agonstar goes, yes. He goes, I'm the cook and I'm the chef and he's the server because he's faster than me and can actually do my strats. So I was like, that's great. That's so good.
Dragonstar's great, dude. I love that guy.
Yeah. And also, like, he snagged a win off of Yo, could have maybe had 2.
He beat Margugu 2-1.
Beat Margugu 2-1, and like, I haven't seen a ton from Doubt yet. We'll see 2 sets from him over the next 48 hours, but kind of feeling like Dragonstar could pose a little bit of a threat against Doubt too. So,
yeah. Do you remember the Indian team in, not the last Nations Cup that happened last year, but the one before that?
Well, like the Nations Cup. Yeah, I mean,
like
the
Hellraiser,
TC drop,
Dragonstar.
the TC drop stuff. Oh my god, that was crazy.
The best was, I forget who it was. It might have been Hellraiser, but there was a 4v4 arena game, and one of them was completely dead on the flank with 4 villagers in a tower. And that's it. And the rest of the team was playing on. And I'm like, is this guy even here? And I look at the APM. He'd been AFK in this tower for the last 2 minutes, and his team was just playing on.
just left.
He was just like, listen, guys, I'm out.
No, I remember, I think it was Silver League or whatever the lower groups was in that. And I think it was like Finland B versus India or something on Arabia. And we had...
Oh, it was a double douche.
It was a double douche.
Just kept following them, dude. They just kept douching after time. It was Doomster, I think, in the tower. So it was Doomster, Hellraiser, Dragonstar, and whoever. One of my favorite teams. Those guys are so funny, man.
Yeah. I mean, you need that. Sometimes in team games, you need someone who wants to be the player who annoys everybody else, so the rest of your team can vibe. Dude,
it's like they all want to be that guy.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how good are the usernames though for those two? Like, we don't really think about quality usernames. We just get used to calling people for what they are.
Doomster and Hellraiser.
Doomster and Hellraiser are quality gamer names. It's not talked about enough. It's so good.
And they're in caps too.
Yeah. And then like Doomster always has this smiley face at the end which just adds to the fear for me. I don't know. So back to this. We've got Khmer, 24 pop. This is a fast castle from Vinch, and it should be much faster than TaToH, but doesn't have the cheap eco upgrades of the Vietnamese, and they're just Khmer are a little limited late game. So you're hoping to win before it gets to the very late game, or alternatively, you're hoping to actually get to the super late game, but just be rich. So have 160 vills, your ballista elephants, scorpions, and all the crazy expensive techs. So I don't know. Like, Dragonstar said, does T90 know? And if the question is, does T90 know you can go fast castle with Khmer and boom, then yeah. But I just don't know if it's that broken. I'd love to be proven wrong.
TaToH's going for a barracks, so it's going to be a stable strat here for him. Most likely, anyway. And our Khmer player already casually up to Castle Age. Doesn't have to make the buildings, so
yeah.
Just goes right on up. Still has one villager on gold right now.
Yeah, so what you can't do easily is you can't easily go stable and TCs with this build. So usually you're just going to see the TCs, and then you add the stable later. So I think it's really important for Vinch to keep the starting scout active. You get one kill on a monk with your starting scout as your 3 TC against the opponent's stable build, and you're living, dude. There's nothing better than that. So
horse collar and some farms. I'm just looking at Vinch right now. TaToH can do whatever he wants with Vietnamese over there.
yeah,
We're looking at Vinch.
yeah, it's gonna be TCs, and TaToH knows what Vinch can do potentially here, because TaToH actually faced up against this before. It was an arena tournament. I think we were even casting together, and it was the game where we saw Vinchester against... He started making ballistas against cav archers from TaToH when TaToH was Tatars, and then TaToH went flaming camels as a response. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like deep in the memory bank, but it was some arena tournament. I don't know. There's been so many non-Masters of arena tournaments, so I don't know which one it was. But it happened.
Oh my god, he's cooking, dude. 3 TCs with Khmer, fast castle on an arena style map. Brother.
I mean,
what universe are we living in? This is insane.
If he kills fast, and especially if TaToH puts the relics on the front, which I actually think TaToH is smart enough not to do, this could be good. Like, TaToH's still over a minute away from the next stage, and relics take time to get payoff and to collect. So, but what's your unit? Would you go like, so if your opponent goes stable, do you go like 2 barracks pikemen, forward castle, fast imp trebs or something? I don't know.
For who?
Well, for Vinch, like how you kill.
Okay.
I'm thinking what your comp is later on. I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I have no idea. Depends whether he wants to add a 4th TC to this. How quickly?
Yeah. He does have enough on gold to potentially make 1 monk, but I don't know how much to look into that. Might just have left that villager there.
Especially with TaToH having a stable so he can split up his scouts, like, he could have 1 on the side, right? So your 1 monk could just die right away.
Yep. So let's see. TaToH drops TC number 2. And annoyingly enough, actually has 20 wood in those villagers' hands and is missing 20 wood for the next TC. But he'll place it now. Gets the wood upgrade and the farm upgrade. Yeah. Super smooth. But doesn't have a monastery yet, so isn't getting the relics. And Vinchester about like this will be about a 7 or 8 villager lead, I think.
Yeah, plus the Khmer farms, right? So like wheelbarrow comes in faster for TaToH, but that's kind of mitigated a little bit by the Khmer farms.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also an investment, which Vinchester doesn't have to invest to drop off the food immediately. It just always happens.
Yeah, and we're thinking the 2 things. The Vietnamese late game is superior, which it could be, but we're also thinking that TaToH should be able to get the relics.
Yeah, like the early imp for Vietnamese is superior. I think like if Vinchester gets a decent amount of relics and has goal control over those 2 piles over there, I think Khmer can cause some problems for sure. for Vietnamese.
Yeah, I think they can. I think if the sides are walled, how bombard cannon is really hard for the Khmer to engage into.
Maybe.
But I also sometimes think that people just don't commit enough to Scorpions. Like, it's not about... you have to be in a good enough position where you can lose 25% of your Scorpions and then just kill everything. Like,
dude, I've also seen Hera beat straight Halb with straight Hussar.
Well, yeah, if your eco's good enough, yeah.
If you get 90 farms with Khmer or whatever, you can just spam through whatever problems are in front of you.
So, stable now from Vinch. And this is right around the time that TaToH could be maybe snagging those relics. And TaToH hasn't done that. So, I mean...
He read the fast castle, obviously, from Vinchester. He knew that it was 2 extra TCs, and he knew that, you know, he kind of had to keep up. Even if there was an opportunity to get the relics while your opponent didn't have scouts, you got to keep up on villagers, because the relics aren't going to make up for that.
I think Vinch is thinking already about that castle. Like, that's not 12 on stone to get enough for another TC. He's just taking some off, but I think he wants map control, forward castle, and then eventually fast imp, but both players will have lots of scouts now.
Forward castle, ballista elephant cut into a castle in the back of TaToH's base. Shut him out. Shut him down, dude. Castle on either side.
Dude,
Think about it.
What I would love is for Vinchester to go forward castle, and as TaToH is just gearing up to defend from him to come right through the walls, just ballista cut through the sides. Like, both sides. Just have full entry that way. Like, if I could script this game, that would happen, and then Vinchester would gate both of those entries. That'd be super cool. Did you ever create scenarios for you to beat up on the AI in the scenario editor?
No, I played against other people in scenarios.
You never once created... You never once...
I mean, maybe once when I was like 12. Dude.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And then I called it like, you know, I titled it like super wicked, awesome scenario version 1.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about last year or, you know, even 10 years ago. I'm talking about when you were a kid.
Yeah.
Dude, I built so many bridges with the scenario editor. I was so disappointed when I found out that you couldn't actually build bridges in the game.
Well, the problem with the bridges in the scenario editor is you had to do the first chunk, and then you had to do the middle chunk,
yeah,
and then you had to do the other chunk. So it was it was tedious, dude. I think I built one bridge, and I was like, I'm done.
Oh, man, I would put like a moat around my base. I would make my base at the top of a hill, and there would be this one entry point to my fortress that the AI would go over, and at the top of the hill would be a bunch of Teutonic Knights, Cataphracts, Jaguar Warriors, and Bombard Towers. And I, of course, would make it like mind-boggling numbers of spearmen and crappy units, and I just wait for the AI to feed 1,000 units into my towers.
I feel like you really would have enjoyed tower defense scenarios, because that's basically what it is. Dude, there's no relics here for TaToH.
Yeah, true.
We got like one monk just healing.
Ooh, but
and he's managed to trap in the scouts, so maybe no relics past these initial 2 for Vinchester if he loses too many scouts. He does have 3 stables, though.
You know,
3 stable light cav. Wow.
The longer this goes, when I look at that castle and everything from Vinch, the more I'm thinking that he might actually want to go ballistas. You don't place that castle
Hussar?
if you're going to end it fast, yeah. I'm
Could
surprised.
be a slow burn, and TaToH just hasn't gotten any relics, dude. Like, TaToH...
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was behind by 15 vills, and now he's only behind by 3. So I think a lot of that was just because he had to invest more into the eco, and now... He's going to be more active. Light cav in the north, light cav towards the middle. I think we'll see a whole bunch of light cav here. Like double, triple stable even. Could make sense. Actually, as I say that, Vinchester has 3 stables. Holy crap. And TaToH's on 2.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
They're already doing
it. 3
it.
for a long time.
Yeah, they're already doing it.
Scamming, bro. And he's got so many farms with Khmer. He's got 37 farms. Like, TaToH's food eco is insane, too. Oh, my God. 45 farms? He's placing more?
Man, I want to see...
25 minutes into the game?
I want to see elephants from both in this game. That would be my dream. That would be so good.
I mean, Vietnamese elephants are actually crazy.
They're so good.
They're so strong. Yeah, if you can get into them.
Yeah, I mean, 420 HP per elephant. Even if you have 10 of them mixed in with whatever else you're making, it's pretty crazy.
Nice wall off denial on the left by TaToH. Vinch is trying to wall that off.
And then
just
on
a very annoying light
And then
cab
in the
over
north,
here.
and the same thing from TaToH. Vinchester.
Yep.
Oh, he's going to lose the monk.
Beautiful.
He won't lose the Vils, actually, because the Vils are in the house. But yeah, really good work from TaToH, both sides, as you said. And then they have their respective
Vinchester's stealing. He's stealing another relic from the middle. So Vinchester is snagging this as TaToH comes out with a lot of villagers trying to make a castle there to protect the gold. 5 light cav on the field. We got 12 in the queue from Vinchester. Look at the gold from Vinchester. If he unqueues those light cav, he could just go up right now.
Yeah, I think he does. I can't tell if he's unqueuing them or if they're just being produced. I think they're maybe being produced. And he'll click up. TaToH did think about a forward castle. Initially, he placed the foundation forward. I think it's a good call from him to place a safe one. But only... Well, no. I said only, expecting to say, like, only 1 relic for TaToH. He's got 0. 0 relics when he was the player who had the scouts on the field faster. Wow.
I mean, he's done a good job shutting down the walls, but still, it's probably going to be 6 relics or more for Vinchester. He's getting greedy, going for the 1 forward, too.
That's sick, dude. He saved that Vil in the north because of the house, and now brought her out to gate that up. And then it's the same thing in the south.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Really, really cool here from Vinch. Love to see it. And Vinchester...
He's massing
He's gonna have those. He's gonna have those relics in a very safe location. He built the initial monastery way back there.
Bro, Vinch is dropping siege workshops. Please tell me this is double crossbow, heavy scorpion with hussar or something. Let's see it. Come on, Vinch.
I don't think there's enough bombard cannons that can save TaToH from this. Elephants could be the play. They legitimately could be the play, but then again, he doesn't have any relics.
Yeah, and they also, elephants receive bonus damage from scorpions. So scorpions are actually pretty good against elephants. It's actually one of the better things you can make. Wow. Yeah.
I don't think bonus damage matters against 420 something HP.
I mean,
it's a +2. Oh my god.
I just remember I've watched a lot of deathmatch, and anytime elephants are involved, scorpions are involved. So I don't know if DM logic matches there. TaToH's castle, it will go up, but it'll lose a couple villagers in the process. Wow, this is so active, man. It feels like this game is 3 times faster than some of the games we've seen today. So much happening.
Look at Vinchester. Light cav in the north. Now he's got light cav over on the left side too. Like TaToH's just constantly responding to this, and Vinchester's castle is back in a very, very safe location. So he's going to be able to make the trebs and then slowly push forward. Vietnamese, they can't get masonry. They don't get architecture, so their castles are fairly weak.
Yeah, nice defense from TaToH, though. He keeps the light cav out in the north. He will wall the south, so Vinch can't raid there. And he also has trebs on the way, and he's about to break through. Now, Vinch needs a lot of researches here to get to this comp, but he has trebs already. And as long as he's walled, as long as those light cav from TaToH can't run through, that is a waste of a castle from TaToH. That will not accomplish enough.
7 relics for Vinch.
Wow. And
there's another one on the way.
A lot of gold secured on the outside, too. He's got the potential to raid and take all of that. But Vinch, you've got a wall.
TaToH should get paper money right now.
Is he intentionally letting
he's got to
TaToH
make up for this?
Okay, please not a palisade gate in Imp, bro. Okay, well, I guess it's enough for now.
He's still fine.
There are a couple ballista elephants behind this. It feels like Vinch is trying to hide the fact he's making the scorpions, but he might need them now. Only 2 trebs for Vinch. TaToH could maybe compete here. TaToH will make bombard cannons in a second. Dude, there's so much happening right now. This game is bonkers. Just bonkers.
The relic gold is really ticking here for Vinch. TaToH's got to do something, man. He's gonna get all that gold in the middle, maybe, if Vinchester isn't raiding it.
I mean, what is Vinch
Vinchester now gonna get siege engineers, which is a great upgrade.
He needs wood, by the way. Like, Vinch needs wood. He's trying to make scorpions. He's trying to make trebs. He doesn't really have the wood. He doesn't have double crossbow yet either. That is a fight with
and
House.
Just delete the walls, and you can snipe those trebs, bro.
Yeah.
Just delete the walls.
He's
and
too
you can
focused.
Snipe the trebs. Castle's gonna go down. He's still repairing the other castle. His defensive castle might die, and it does. And both castles fall here, but Vinchester could have sniped those treads and kept that castle alive.
Yeah, I mean, it feels as though Vinchester is maybe scared to do so because TaToH's army is so much more consistent and it is so much stronger. And bombard cannons are now here. Vinch does not have heavy scorpion yet. He doesn't have double crossbow yet. But he does have 8 relics now. I don't even know where the 9th is, honestly.
So much gold in the bank. All those relics just churning out gold. And Vinchester feels like he can't do anything with it because he didn't have enough wood. Finally, he's got a lot of resources.
Yeah.
In the bank. Just can he spend them? The queue of the Hussars still isn't there fully. But TaToH, without the castle protecting, might lose the siege.
As long as Vinch can get heavy scorp, he's fine. But you need food for some of that upgrade. And then you need food and gold for double crossbow, too. It's just so pricey. So, if anything, making the Hussars held him back from getting the Scorpion upgrades, but he also kind of needed it.
Look at those relics bringing in the gold, man. Almost 2k gold collected from relics alone from Vinchester. He just constantly has gold. Double crossbow now coming in. It has begun.
It's
go. Begun.
Well, I mean, this is a true test, right? If this composition truly sucks, this is the situation that will prove it. Because he should be in the best spot to ever do this ever. He's got map control in the north, so if TaToH runs out for anything, he gets raided. He's got 8 relics. Like, there's no better time for this to work.
TaToH. You need paper money right now.
Yeah. Okay, so what's the number of scorpions you're looking for here? I think about 20. 20 and just pure Hussar.
35.
Okay, I mean, might as well take it up to 50 at that point. Now there's the bombard cannons. They're taking out the scorpions. The Hussars are moving around. The Halbs are dying, but so are the scorpions. Vinch is a lot more gold.
And the Hussars come around from the other side, but the Halbs are still there, man. Great positioning there from TaToH. Hussars unable to take out any bombard cannons. Beautiful job.
It's so awkward. It's just such an awkward composition to control here if you're Vinch.
Especially when you don't delete your own walls.
Yeah,
you can never snipe the
that's a good point. But it does maybe create a choke point for you too. Hard to say. TaToH did clear up the little raid in the north, and he will secure that stone and gold in the north.
These bombard cannons go down. This Scorpion army is going to be very difficult for TaToH. Very, very difficult.
That's got to be priority number 1 for Vinch, is take the bombard cannons. And he's working on it. Yeah, I think
feasting on these units.
I think maybe it's intentional to keep that open there, so TaToH funnels through into the scorpions. Okay, Vinch
Castle now in the north from TaToH, so he gets gold and stone access up there.
Vinch is 14. He has a lot in queue right now, so he's going to get to a really big ball of scorpions compared to what we've seen. And there's
at some point, you just when you have enough scorpions, you shift delete all these walls and just patrol in. Like, I love that moment in arena games. You've seen it. I think you've done it yourself, where you just shift delete all your walls, and your opponent's like, okay, here it comes. And you're like, yeah, I'm coming.
Honestly, a challenge for anyone watching. So the next time you're being pushed on arena, they're expecting you to try and push back to survive, but you're like not ready yet, and you're completely dead. Shift delete all your walls. To bait the opponent into thinking that you're about to kill them and see what happens.
Back up so quick.
Yeah, I'm serious. Like,
away.
I don't know. Maybe there's one person watching that will hear this that can actually think about that and send it. That'd be so funny. Oh, man, the Hussars make it through, Dave. The bombard cannons.
There's a lot of siege over there. TaToH out of position.
Oh, dude, these scorpions should be crazy now. Oh, the Halbs have no chance.
And the siege is going to die. Oh, man, the bomber cannons are down. Look at the Halbs dying. There's one bomber cannon there. Scorpions can roll forward for that. More Hussars on the way. Does the castle go up? If the castle goes up, then Vinchester needs to run away. And I think it does.
Yeah, I think it will go up. So TaToH still... Oh, wait. It's a 95%.
Hang on a second. Hang on. One villager dead.
That's horrible for TaToH. That's horrible. And there's more Hussars and there's more Scorpions coming here as well. So he's got to bring the Vils now. I think it will go up because he just needs a couple more hits, but TaToH's units are just disappearing from our screen.
6 kills on these Scorps, on these 11 Scorpions.
I don't think it goes up.
They're melting. They're melting, dude. They're just absolutely melting. Once you get into Scorp like this with Khmer, and you have the 9 relics behind, so Vinchester has every relic on the map right now.
It's over. TaToH just lost another 10 or so vills. He has no relics. He won't have that gold. Vinchester could drop his own castle here. And with this many scorpions, you could just snipe the bombard cannons, honestly, if there's no meat shield for TaToH.
TaToH is forced to delete that castle at 94%.
Wow. So, okay, you get some refund, I guess, but bombard cannon down. Vinchester going for a castle on the front now, and it has actually worked. Who said the Vietnamese late game was better than the Khmer? Certainly not I.
You did.
No, I don't know. I don't know. That
You
doesn't
haven't been scorped enough, dude.
that doesn't sound like me. Wow, what a play for Vinch. That was a great turnaround. And
That was great, dude.
you know, normally I think of the when I think about Vinch, I think about tiny little micro moments and some magic in Feudal and Castle that can change games. I don't usually think that Vinch's overall late game strategy is as good as TaToH's, but the 2 wins that he got were purely that, just boom scenarios, adaptations, and outplaying TaToH at his own game. So
I think TaToH, the whole strat here was like, okay, I know the Khmer are going to go fast castle. I know they're going to be ahead of me in villagers, but he will invest into grabbing the relics, and that's where I can catch up in my eco. And then I'm going to take him out with a faster Imperial push with the forward castle and everything. He's not going to be able to deal with it because my eco has scaled ahead. That didn't pan out at all.
No,
because
no.
The build for the Khmer was still really, really good. Vinchester did a fantastic job macroing, and he grabbed those relics so quick. And 9 relics with the comp he was going for, he just had gold for days.
I think what happened here was TaToH not prioritizing relics and then trying to push to kill early imp. I think where the bombard cannon excels is you get the relics, you fall behind an eco, and then you're defending with the bomber cannons, not really pushing. But he was under pressure because he knew that Vinch would have an even bigger vill lead. And so if he did what I just suggested, and he gets, let's say, 6 or 7 relics, he is way later to imp. Vinch will probably take map control, and Vinch is trebbing him down, which is what he wanted to avoid. So I think that there is actually some things to think about now with this strategy if you could play it this way. So well played, Vinch. But now Vinchester goes above TaToH in the group, and we should probably pull up the standings there. But I mean,
if you think about civs to use against that, I think Burgundians are going to be a lot better there than Vietnamese potentially. You grab the relics, and it's you can play towards that. You got a good eco.
Yeah,
there's civs to draft against the Khmer there.
Yeah, I agree. But it's also kind of new. That's something TaToH hasn't faced up against that 100 times like he has the Burgundians. So TaToH will have to think a little bit about how to adjust, and so will everybody. And then the next time it happens, we have some more information. Because I didn't think it was going to work. I thought it was just going to die horribly, and I was very, very wrong. So, let's see if this site crashes on us or not. We're in Group C. And still with some games to play in the 3rd round. That was the first series of this round. We will have Vinchester at 5 wins, which puts him 1 below ACCM. And then we will have TaToH at 4. So TaToH's got 4 wins. Or sorry, am I correct? TaToH at 5. He was at 4 before. So they're both at 5. Okay. I mean, TaToH has Dogao and ACCM left. And then Vinch has ACCM and Capuch left. This group is crazy, dude.
Yeah. I think they're both looking at that ACCM set, looking at how ACCM is done, and they're just thinking, okay, I need to get 1 win.
Yeah, and now...
Let's take 1 off ACCM. That's fine.
Yeah, or, try and 3-0 Capuch and 3-0 Dogao or something. But, Capuch and Dogao... Capuch was crazy against TaToH. Could have easily won that 3-0. And then Dogao's back from vacation, so he won't be playing from a hotel anymore. So, actually, Dogao Capuch is round 3 for both of them.
That screenshot or that picture was actually real? He was playing on that setup on his laptop?
He was playing away from home.
On the sink? Or what?
I don't think... I refuse to believe he was actually playing there. I think that he was trying to figure out his ideas and where he could do it. There's no way he was actually playing there, because you can't even sit at a chair, unless you... remove the shelves from underneath the sink. I don't know. But yeah, I'm excited to see this group. Who do you think gets relegated in this group?
Capwatch and Dogao.
Okay, so you don't think that changes. You see, I think we have ACCM MBL tomorrow, okay? And ACCM has been playing amazing.
Yeah.
Then MBL's got to play
I think MBL takes
Capwatch
one from
and
ACCM.
Okay.
I think he takes one from ACCM. I think he actually loses 2-1 against Capwatch just because Capwatch has this thing against MBL where he does well against them.
Yep.
And then I think MBL wins 3-0 against Dogao.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think MBL's going to do a really good job this season at least snagging a win.
Yeah.
And not getting swept. And I would favor him versus Dogao, and I think it's a coin flip between MBL Capwatch. So yeah. But I asked MBL, I meant to ask him who he thought would get relegated out of Group B, but I confused the groups. So I asked him who would get relegated out of Group C, and he said me, smiley face. So I don't know if that's a lack of confidence or if he was just trolling, but he's looked pretty good so far.